Hi everyone, I love this spot. Nice in the morning today before work. Just like to share something that I've been reflecting and trying to live out. In the transfiguration, Luke 9 verse 28 onwards, disciples climbed the mountain with Jesus where he was praying. The appearance of his countenance was altered and his clothing became dazzling white. Beautiful transfiguration. Disciples were with him. But the disciples were heavy with sleep. Perhaps Jesus prayed a lot and they were very tired. It was too much for them, they needed to rest. Wouldn't it be far easier if Jesus had his prayer on the plains, on the open fields? That would be far easier, right? They wouldn't be so sweaty and so tired after climbing the mountains. I can imagine that with their long robes. But no, Jesus had it on the mountains and they were tired. The situation just wasn't that conducive for prayer. But we read, Peter and those who were with him were heavy with sleep. But they kept awake. They stayed awake. And then they saw the glory of God. They saw his glory because they kept awake. In these moments, we push ourselves beyond what we are capable of to receive and to see the glory of God. And the disciples, for them in their time, they stepped awake. They kept awake even though they were so tired. And what did they see? They saw the glory of God. They saw the glory of God because they pushed themselves one extra step, more than what they thought they could do. Even in situations when they were so tired, not able to carry on, not be able to do more, thinking that, oh my goodness, I cannot pray anymore. But they choose to take it one step a little more, push themselves a little more. And then they saw the glory of God in their lives, in the transfiguration. The glory of God is never made perfect in perfect situations. It is in these unconducive moments of prayers, in these difficult moments of prayers, when we choose to push ourselves a little bit more, stay awake, where then we will see the glory of God. Then the disciples saw the glory of God. Let's take the story of Martha and Mary when their brother Lazarus fell sick. And he was sick and they called Jesus. And on the fourth day, Jesus made his way down. But Lazarus was already dead and Martha and Mary were mourning there. And I think there was a sense of feeling. There was a feeling there. The feeling of being betrayed. Hey, Jesus, you could have come earlier, but you didn't. Why? Martha stepped out of the house, went to meet him and said, Lord Jesus, if you have come earlier, my brother wouldn't have died. But even now, I know whatever you ask of the Father will be done. And Martha took that one extra step out of the house. She could be happy mourning there. She could be happy in her despair, in her imperfect and inconducive situations where Lazarus already died, where everyone is mourning, we're in grief. Why should I pray? The situation is never good. Jesus is late. But she chose to take that step out of the house, go to Jesus and said, even now, I push myself one step more than I think I can to say, Lord Jesus, help me. And then they saw the glory of God where Lazarus was raised from the dead, from taking the extra step. James 1:12, blessed is anyone who endures, never tire of doing that little bit more of effort for him. I think of all the testimonies that I heard over the past 2 years. All of them were in that stay awake for a bit more moment. They were heavy with sleep, but they stayed awake a little bit more to chase Jesus, to push themselves from what they thought they could ever physically go. And then in these testimonies, they saw the glory of God. We know of the rich young man who left Jesus. He said, Master, what can I do to enter the kingdom of heaven? I follow all your commandments. And Jesus said, sell everything and follow me. He couldn't push himself a little bit more. I wonder what kind of beautiful story would have become of his life if he chose to do that little bit more, to go more for Jesus. The glory of God is visible in imperfect situations. Don't let it pass you by.